Hi, and welcome back to the Truck and Scribe. Today I am making one of these. It's a little one-sheet book that's great for white sided card, two-sided, the white cardstock. So on the front I have some pockets. I have pockets here. There's a pocket on the side, another pocket. There's some belly bands and stuff that I decorated. So what I'm going to show you today is the basic how to make this little book, not the decorating part. If you want the decorations, I'd be happy to do a video on that. So I did sew this in, which you'll see before I attach the cover to the book. There is a pocket here, a pocket right here, pocket up here, one on the side, and then another one on the top. So it has 12 pages, counting front and back, 5 built-in pockets. And on this one, I added pockets to mine, and the tags and stuff, I added that. Like I said, I'm happy to show you how to go on and decorate this, but this is what we will be making today. I've also got it in this, which is the same thing, just different scrapbook paper. So I hope you enjoy. If you already subscribed, thank you. And if you haven't, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell for notifications. And leave me a comment what you think about this little book. Thank you.
I am starting
I'm going to
a
start with
12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper that has orientation to it, so it has a top and bottom. I'm scoring at the 3, 6, and 9-inch marks. I'm going to turn it a quarter turn and score at 4 and 8-inch. Now I am taking and just folding on the score lines to make it easier to fold. And I'm going to ink it up. So I'll be right back in just a second. So I've got it inked up. We're going to cut from the outside to that square. So where my scissors are over to where they stop. Then we're going to go down and cut from there to there. So cut on the line as best as possible. It can be trimmed up, which I had to do, and one or two of mine got a little crooked cut. Or you could probably put it in your paper trimmer, depending on what kind you have, and trim it there. Use a ruler or X-Acto knife to cut it. I'm just using scissors. So now that it's all cut out, I am showing you how to fold it, and to be able to have the print on the outside facing, we are folding it what looks like inside out, but it will actually give you a picture inside your book. I'm going to show you how to put a cover on this. So I'm opening it up and showing you the pages, and you can look at your pages and decide which orientation you want and what looks best. And I've decided that mine's going to go in this direction. So I can keep up with where I'm going to be at in my book. I'm writing top or front, and then I'm putting a paper clip because it's very easy to get confused when you're gluing this down. So I'm punching a hole or a little tab in the top of the first page and inking it up. And I'm trying to ink up that back page too, so I can look at where I need to glue. There's no ink on the outside edges. And then I just fold my paper back, or my cardstock back, and glue it. Now I'm doing looking at the bottom, but because things fall out from the bottom, I am actually going to do my pocket on the side. I'm inking it again on the edge of that pocket. That way I can kind of see where I need to put glue. So I'm gluing the sides that don't have the pocket or should not have distress ink. And you don't have to distress yours if you don't want to. But each page I'm starting back at the front of the book to make sure I'm oriented in the right direction. So if this was two-sided cardstock, you could actually decide which side you like better because one's going to be on the inside. So this works perfectly for that, all the scrapbook paper you have that is one-sided, because that's going to be put on the inside of the pockets. And it just goes from top to side as far as the pockets go. Once you do the folds and make the first one, it's really easy. You could sit down and cut out, do the scoring. This is a good mass make project. Just do the scoring first, and on say 10 scrapbook pages, then go and do the cutting and the inking and the folding, and do them in a group. Do each thing one at a time, or do the 10 scrapbook papers, work on one procedure at a time. So like the cutting or the gluing. So the scrapbook paper I'm using is the Autumn Blaze. I got it at Michael's, I believe. I did go through and audition some of this with that particular paper, but I didn't show you all that. So I'm cutting it at 4 by 6, I believe. And for one piece of scrapbook paper, you could get probably 4 covers for one of these. So if you took and mass made from a paper pad, that would work out good. See, I'm just auditioning covers. Which one do I really think I want in position for this particular book? Checking to see how it's fitting in there. So I decide on one of them. I don't know. I'm still looking, I guess. I thought the one with the more blue is the one that I picked, but we'll see. No. So I am putting front and top on there. We're scoring at 3 1/8 and 3 3/8. That's going to give us a spine. And I'm going to just fold the cover like I folded the book on the lines. Gives you a nice little edge for your spine. I'm trying to decide which kind of twine I want to use. And I think I'm using the blue, and I'm measuring about 14 inches. It could be smaller or longer. It's just up to you. So I'm auditioning some lace, trying to see what would look better. I finally decided on this one, and I'm going to sew it on, but you don't have to. You could just put the cover on with nothing, and that would be fine too. I just thought I would try some lace on it and see how it looked. I have one that, the one I previewed, has a pocket that goes all the way around the outside cover. I used a scrap of fabric for that. After I sew the cover, the lace to the cover, I'm trimming the lace down. I decided to leave my little scalloped edge on the bottom as adornment. I'm trimming the little strings because I don't like strings, but that's up to you. Some people do. I put a pocket, before I sew the book in, the signature into the cover, I'm putting pockets on there as a decoration. I use brocade kind of fabric on the back, and you can see that the cover's not on it yet. I'm just trimming it down to kind of match. The nature of that particular fabric is it kind of pulls. Now I'm working with the twine that I've cut in half to make two 7-inch pieces. I'm fraying the end of one side to help it lay down flatter when I put it on the book. I'm going to put it between the book and the cover. I'm using Fabri-Tac because it's more of a bumpy kind of, I don't know, string kind of fabric. It will hold it in for a good long time. Gives it more strength than the Bearly Arts or the PVA. So I'm adding glue all around the edges of that top and not on my string. So one thing is, do not put glue on the spine. That helps it move a little bit more. So no glue on the spine, just the top and the back, front and the back. I'm checking to see if it's lined up good, trimming down a little bit of lace. Then I'm going to the back and I'm doing the same thing. I'm taking that piece of twine, the last piece, and I am trying to fray out the edge again so that they'll lay straight. That's a bookbinding technique. When they use twine to hold the books together or to sew the signatures together, they fray the edges and so that it will lay down flatter. I'm just rubbing that glue all on there. I'm putting my excess glue on the page because there's some that always gets squirted out from the bottle for some reason. And I'm just gluing this side the same way. Making sure to get the edges and making sure that my two pieces of string are about the same distance or about the same place on the front and back. Then I'm taking the bone folder and just kind of squishing all that glue in there. And I ink up the rest of the outside that did not have ink on it. And this is the finished book with the pocket in the front and all the top and side pockets that are on it.